Welcome agents, I'm currently away on my stag do in Prague, so it's likely I'm pretty messy whilst you're watching this video before I bring to you some news for the Division 2 so you weren't left with nothing over the next couple of days. Now today I wanted to go over the new apparel event coming soon, new mission found on the PTS, some ongoing directive changes, and also some comments from Frederick Thylander, which is actually really important and probably should have been included in this week's State of the Game. If you enjoy this one, please hit the like button below, subscribe for dedicated Division 2 content, and let's do this. Okay, so let's start with the new apparel event coming next week, I believe. The official Division 2 UK Twitter page tweeted this on Wednesday, showing 4 new outfits to obtain. It was actually first leaked by Ubisoft in Asia, I believe, and then I think the devs basically had to come out and say, here it is. Now this apparel event is called Explorers, and as it says, from the ashes, a world designed for explorers rises. Discover the Explorers event, new outfits landing next week. So looks like we've got a paratrooper, trapper, aviator and space explorer. Now unlike the last apparel event, these outfits actually look to be appropriate for the game. They look actually pretty good, although I do really love my yellow raincoat. So looking at everyone's comments on these, it appears that the paratrooper is already a community favourite, but I personally really like the trapper, mainly for the hat and the trousers, but I just think this outfit looks really cool, as do they all, actually. The only one that doesn't really fit in is the Space Explorer one, but I still think this looks good, so for once, I can safely say that I will be grinding this event to get this gear. Now let me know what you guys think of these outfits, and I know, okay, there are more important things with the game that needs to be addressed, like PvP and Dark Zone and the stream on Wednesday, but I'm not someone who generally looks at negatives of stuff for too long, and I really like to find positive things like this, for example. With that said, I am in the process of scripting a video with my feedback on the PvP stream, because I do have a lot to say, so if you want to comment with your feedback on that, then please do down below. Be my guest, absolutely go for it, but this I believe is a positive apparel event that's coming, which I'm actually really looking forward to based on these outfits. Now once again I'm featuring Reddit user The Soldier in today's video because they've got a fantastic post about the current changes to ongoing directive on the PTS, and it's definitely worth the time in this video because of one reason mainly. Predator's Mark may be coming back. That's right, you didn't mishear me, Predator's Mark is what I said. So let's start with this one, with this image of the current ongoing directive talents on the PTS, and this is what The Soldier had to say in his Reddit post. Ongoing directive has changed from a gear set with no real direction in mind to a heavy bleed DPS focused gear set. The final set bonus, the right tool, is the pin of the entire gear set, providing 30 rounds of explosive ammo every time you kill an enemy with a status effect. Emergency requisition means you won't have to run out and grab that explosive ammo yourself, just reload and it will come to you automatically, along with regular ammo and any other goodies. The gear mod slots have also seen a change, as seen on screen now, and you can get, quite frankly, ludicrous 7 offensive mod slots if you're running a full 6-piece ongoing directive build. So from this you can really see a focus with this gear set, if this remains as is. Of course, this is on the PTS, so you know it's all subject to change essentially, but the Soldier goes on to talk about how you can build with this gear set. Going over how to use this set, Sadist on your primary weapon and Wicked on your gloves are requirements to leverage all the power this gear set has to offer. Both these talents have been updated in the PTS, and their new effects are shown above. PTS ongoing directive now relies on a bleed kill loop, where at the start of the cycle you proc the right tool by using a specialization grenade, a skill or weak point, killing the target, then picking up the explosive ammo that drops and using that to start the cycle over. Even if you are unable to cause a status effect in any manner, Sadist will kick in after 3 kills and cause bleed on a target for you to start the loop on. From the above 2 talents alone, you'll be running at plus 45% weapon damage against practically anything you shoot at. Other talents such as Spark, which grants plus 25% weapon damage for 15 seconds when you damage an enemy with a skill or a grenade. Concussion, which grants plus 20% headshot damage for 2 seconds and 5 seconds if it's a marksman rifle. Creeping Death, which has been newly buffed in the PTS. Kneecap, which has been buffed, and Trauma, which has also been buffed, can help in dealing as much damage as consistently as possible. The Soldier then goes on to finish the post by showing his current stats on their non-optimized build for the PTS, and finishes with this. There are the stats I'm currently running on the PTS. As you can see, I have a stupid amount of weapon damage, 87% AR damage in total. However, this build is not optimized. It does not have as much survivability as I would otherwise like, and I know I can squeeze out more damage through better gear slot picks, and once gear set, chest piece and back piece talents go live as well. Even in spite of that, this build cranks out so much damage it easily surpasses the Eagle Bearer post nerf, and might even be able to match it pre-nerf due to the absolutely massive damage bonus gained through Sadist and Wicked. Overall, ongoing directive does not provide any direct means of dealing more damage, unlike Aces and Eights does with Dead Man's Hand or Tip of the Spear for extra damage versus Pulsed. It merely provides an extremely convenient and brutally effective method of activating Sadist and Wicked. Combine this with the absolutely ludicrous amount of offensive mod slots, ongoing directive now provides, and you have a powerful DPS build that isn't reliant on crit, low armor, or an Eagle Bearer. Fear the bleed. So yeah, it's a pretty extensive post, and it's really well worded, and it's really good. And this to me is exactly what the game needs in respect of build diversity. We need gear sets that have a clear direction to their power. This was something in the Division 1 that was done very well. You had Predator's Mark, which was a DPS bleed focused build. You had, Reclaimer, which was a group survival build. You had my favourite, which was Deadeye, which was a DPS focused marksman build. And all of these gear sets, they had a clear direction for their power, and it appears that ongoing directive may have taken the path of Predator's Mark. Now, whilst the set itself doesn't actually focus on rewarding bleed with other buffs like Predator's Mark did, it's clear here that it can be used in combination with skills and talents to make it that way. And again, I want to thank the Soldier with this post for such a comprehensive overview of this set. Ongoing directive appears to be the only gear set that has reverted to the full piece gear set on the PTS. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what the others have to offer, and whether they've also got a clear direction as well. I'm excited to see what they've got to offer. Moving on, and I wanted to touch upon some things that have been mentioned by the devs on Twitter. And these are things that have not been confirmed but worth taking note of, because I think they're actually really important. Now, first up, SMGs and rifles appear to be getting a buff, and crit range may be getting removed. This tweet from Frederick Thylander confirms this, and I hope this happens. SMGs and rifles are really underpowered right now, especially rifles, which have never actually been viable, ever, unlike SMGs, which were the meta when the game launched. Really good news to hear that they're looking at trying to buff these two weapons up to compete with assault rifles. Secondly, and I'm using Frederick for most of this, as he's very vocal on Twitter, in a good way, he confirms that in TU6, hit fire will force you to walk, and heals will no longer heal enemies. On top of this, you'll be able to switch specializations anywhere with your loadout. And these are 3 good quality of life changes, and it appears Frederick will be on State of the Game next week to go more in detail on this stuff. Thirdly, and this is something I was going to address in my feedback on the Dark Zone and PvP stream, Frederick confirms in this tweet that there will be unique named items in the Dark Zone. This is huge news. One of my biggest gripes with the Dark Zone is it lacks incentive for both PvP and PvP players, and this was one of my main gripes with the stream on Wednesday, where they talked about incentives, but there was really no incentives. Why, as a PvE player, would you go into the Dark Zone when you can run a normal mission and get the same gear without the risk of that gear being stolen from you? Likewise, for a PvP player, why do you want to farm PvE players who've got no ambition to, fight back, and you're not going to be rewarded for doing that? Now, with this tweet, my mind is at ease, and I have to say one thing. I am 99.9% sure in last week's State of the Game, the devs said they were still working on where the named items would drop. They only confirmed it would be in endgame content like heroic missions. That's it. There was nothing about the Dark Zone. There was no mention of unique Dark Zone loot. That was never mentioned. And I think this is something that should have been reiterated in the State of the Game this week, because I guarantee you that this would have been the highlight. Although people might not have been happy with the other stuff, this would have been a very good bit of news to hear. So, yeah, it's a bit weird that they never reiterated this part, and I think that's because it was never mentioned before. But from Frederick's tweet here, it appears that we are getting named items in the Dark Zone. They're going to be unique to the Dark Zone, and like they said before, I assume they're going to have named items that are going to be unique to different aspects of the game. So that's really good. That gives me an incentive to go into the Dark Zone to get these unique rewards. Let's just hope that these unique named rewards are actually good. If they're not, again, we're going to have that issue where people just aren't going to bother. But if they are, then perfect. That will give me a reason to go in there. That will give people a reason to go in there. That will give PvE players a reason to go in there. And that should hopefully fill the servers. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get some part of the Dark Zone back. Last, and I think least this time around, this is nothing crazy, but a new VIP mission has popped up on the PTS called DARPA Research Labs. As you can see on the left, this takes place at Jefferson Trade Center, and we'll focus on the Black Tusk, so there you go. One thing to add before we move on and end the video here, I'm pretty sure the devs said nothing on the PTS would have narrative content, and whilst you're not strictly playing through the mission because, you know, it's restricted, I think some people might not be happy about this showing up on the PTS. I'm personally okay with this, but it does show the name and the location of a new mission, so yeah, Year 1 pass holders and consoles might be mad. I'm fine. That's it. So there you go, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, again, please drop a like on the video. It does help me out. And if you stuck around until the end, I really, really do appreciate all of your guys' support. As I said at the start of the video, I will have some more videos coming up. My next video will probably be about PvP in the Dark Zone and what changes I think that needs to be made, and just giving my overall feedback on Wednesday's State of the Game. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I'm having a great one on my stag, and I will see you guys next week. Until the next one, Epic out.